Hi, my name is Gene Green, and I'm the Dean of Trinity International University, Florida. As you can see from the books behind me, I'm not fully settled into my library here at home. In fact, I began my tenure as Dean right at the time when the pandemic was raging, and we had to move all of the classes in Trinity, Florida to Zoom and email. And we're still there right now. We've been anticipating that time where you and I can meet face to face, where we can gather together once again with our fellows in class and also with our professors. There's nothing more dynamic than that classroom environment. I've been teaching since the 1980s, and I love the classroom, and I can't wait to be in the classroom once again. In fact, I'm teaching a course on New Testament coming up this fall. But we've had a COVID-19 task force has been looking very closely at our situation here in South Florida. We've listened to them. We've been watching the trend lines of the virus and its effects in the community. Our task force is comprised of teachers, administrators, and medical personnel. We've been talking with them, also talking with the staff at Trinity, Florida, and trying to assess the situation, and also the faculty, listening to their voices as we all weigh how we're going to move forward through the fall semester. And we had originally thought that we'd be back in the classroom by the middle of August. That was our plan, and we were hoping that we'd have this tiger by the tail, this virus licked by then, but it's not happening. And if you're watching the lines at all, the trend lines, you know what's going on. So, oh my, it's been a painful time as we think about keeping everyone safe. And this has been our highest priority, keeping you safe, keeping the faculty safe, keeping the staff safe, while at the same time carrying out our educational mission. And so although we had thought we'd begin in mid-August, I'm afraid that we're having to delay that. And so we're going to stay online. We're going to stay via Zoom until the end of this calendar year. And if the conditions warrant, we will then go back to the classroom earlier than January. That's what we would like to do. And we're establishing rubrics that will determine when we can go back. But for the moment, we're going to stay on Zoom and continue to gather that way. What we're also doing is enhancing the educational experience at Trinity International University, Florida, through the implementation of a new learning management system, Canvas. And some of you are already familiar with Canvas from your other school experiences, and our faculty is going to be learning it very soon. And some of them are experts already, so we'll learn from them. But we want to make sure that we enrich our experience as much as possible. I've been thinking these days about the Apostle Paul, and I'm a New Testament guy. That's what I've been teaching since the 1980s. And I think about the hard times that he had and the many dangers that he endured, whether it's in sea or robbers as he's going down the road. He was jailed on numerous occasions, even beaten. And I've been especially thinking about his ministry while he was imprisoned in Rome. And, he viewed himself as a prisoner for Christ. And you see this in the prison epistles, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, and Philemon. Also, he had a second Roman imprisonment, and he wrote 2 Timothy during that time. And all the while, he's framing his condition in terms of the gospel. And he sees opportunity in the middle of it. In fact, he talks in Philippians how he was a witness to the whole Praetorian Guard, this elite group of soldiers around the emperor. And then while he's in prison, he's writing letters, and he's using the technology of his day to stay in touch with the churches. And he sent these letters out with messengers that were faithful people. And part of the messenger's job was to not only deliver the letter to the person or the people addressed, like the Philippians or the Ephesian church or the Colossian church or his friend Philemon or Timothy. Not only did the messenger deliver the letter, but part of the messenger's job in the ancient world was to help interpret it, to give a commentary on it. So there was text and commentary, and it would have been wonderful to hear those. Well, we've got a similar thing going. You've got your textbooks, you'll have your assignments, your syllabi, and that'll be up on Canvas, and you'll be with your professor and with your fellows through the rest of this semester. And if God can use Paul in prison, and use the technology of his day, the scribes that would write the letters and the messengers who would deliver them, and then the brilliance of the Apostle Paul. If God can use that technology to get his work done, I think God can use Zoom and Canvas and our gatherings these ways. Now, to be sure, we want to be back in the classroom, and we're going to get back there just as soon as possible. And we want you to pray, and first and foremost, that God would intervene and bring health and healing to our nation and the world in stemming the advance of this virus. But we also have to be smart. I mean, there's some basic precautions. I'm married to a nurse, and she is constantly telling me that the basics of epidemiology are that, you keep your physical distancing and you wear a mask, and also you make sure you wash your hands and keep them away from your face. And these are just the basics. And by doing the basics, these simple things, we can stem the tide of this. So we don't want our gatherings to be a time when the virus will spread. We want to stay safe, even though we had devised protocols to make sure that when we do return to the classroom, everyone is kept safe. We've got those, and we will institute those when we are back in the classroom. We're going to make it possible for people who don't feel like they're going to be safe, even at the beginning of the year, or whenever we go back to the classroom, that if you need to stay home because of health concerns, concerns about elderly parents and grandma and grandpa, tío, tía, que viven con ustedes, es muy importante guardar la salud y cuidar a los que están en nuestro alrededor. So it's really, really important to take care of those around us. It's not just about us, but it's about those whom we love. And so I just want you to know that although this is a hard thing for all of us, that everything we're going to do, everything we do here at Trinity, Florida, is out of love for God and love for our neighbor and love for you. Feel free to write me and talk to me. And if you got concerns, I'm happy to hear them. I'm happy to talk. And I'm really anxious to meet you face to face y tomar un cafecito con ustedes. And I really want to be there and share the joys of Christ, the joys of life together with you. God bless you. God bless you. Again, write, call, pray, and encourage your profs and encourage one another, and tell your friends, we're not closing up. We're open for business. We're moving forward. And I think about the great programs, the great profs that we have, mental health counseling, leadership. Jules Martinez is with us, new prof that's come from Trinity up there in Deerfield. Jules is a PhD in theology from Puerto Rico, and got the elementary education program going, the psych program, Christian ministry, you name it. We're doing it. And we're going to expand programs and move forward into a good future. And I'm grateful that we're traveling together. God bless you all. God bless you. Call me, write me. Okay, take care.